Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. It is another Tuesday night, which means here we are again for a brand new episode of Tabletop Legends. Tonight is episode 47. Ooh, a couple more and we're going to be 50 years old. 50 episodes old. I think we get a cake.
Did someone take cake?
Polite pat on the back and put on an ice float and sent out to sea to die at 50 episodes. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I hope you all are as well. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are picking up tonight's episode where we left off last week, as the group, the Fools Errant, are preparing to kind of make their plans for the next stage of their journey. Their contract with the Collective of the Arcane Eye has come to an end, and the three elderly wizards are in the process of packing up all of their belongings and their furnishings from 28 Dorset Street, and will be moving on to take up residence within the small city settlement of the Ordinum Librae, Terra Libra. The party have secured themselves, in addition to some promises of favors to be turned in later, some promises of payment in the form of some magical items, as well as an associate membership into the Ordinum Librae. They have some decisions to make, where they will go next, what they will do, and what their next move is going to be. We rounded off last week's episode with a little bit of a surprise, bit of excitement, as an old friend of theirs, Elbidi, the mysterious talking dog, showed up, asking for a favor, asking for the group to help her to put a stop to an illegal wildlife trade taking place between a notorious exotic wildlife dealer, and they have succeeded in the apprehension and arrest of one Josephus Exotique, who is now in the custody of the Mythlindian Home Guard to be tried for his crimes against the realm, being exotic animal trafficking and a terrible hairstyle. We will rejoin the party the next day, basically, as they discuss what they're planning to do next is right after this. Stick around, we'll be right back. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Alrighty, players. It is about 6 a.m., the day following your nighttime escapades. Your location is 28 Dorset Street, the mostly packed and emptied out apartments of the Collective of the Arcane Eye, who are just a day or so from leaving the city of Neveria. As for anyone outside of yourselves who might be up at this hour of the day, Stanfield is down in the kitchen. He is currently the smell of the beginnings of breakfast and coffee are sort of rising up through the floorboards of the building, perhaps awakening sleepy heads from their slumber. And for any of you who might have been awake, the sort of light footstep associated most familiarly with Namara has been potentially heard going down the hallway and heading downstairs.
I will go out and follow Namara.
Okay.
And say, I just thought of something.
Oh, what is it?
Won't Mr. Coppelkettle wake up every morning thinking he's been kidnapped? If he doesn't remember and doesn't wake up in the same room?
His particular curse seems, as far as we can tell, only to extend to people that he has met. We have not always lived... no, not locations. We have not always lived here at this establishment in the time that he has been cursed. I am sure that going to a new place and meeting new people as we take our positions within the Ordinarium will come with its own set of challenges, but we have managed Colin's condition for a number of years. I am confident that we can make do.
Okay. I just know all the movers was an issue.
She sort of gives a little nod and kind of smiles a little. She says, indeed, it is one of the reasons we try to limit the people coming in and out of wherever our dwelling is. You may have noticed that Colin does not go out unaccompanied on the rare occasions that he does leave the establishment. It has been easier.
Okay. I just thought of that. I'm gonna go have breakfast now. Bye!
Very well. I will join you shortly.
Yeah, Alar will open his door, rub his face, his hair is something like this. I am gonna miss that smell. Coffee. Sweet, sweet coffee.
Upon hearing Alar saying coffee, Walter will also pop out and is like, somebody say coffee? Coffee time?
Yes, it is time.
And I guess we'll zombie walk our way down.
Yep.
Alright, in the kitchen, as Nula makes her way in, and Walter and Alar are shortly to follow behind. Stanfield is in the process of puttering about. He does have a pot of coffee on. He is in the process of, seems like he's got a loaf of bread rising in the hearth in the kitchen. As you guys come down and kind of pull up stools at the wooden kind of countertop kitchen board table, he turns and gives you guys sort of a upper-bodied half bow.
Good morning, Lady Nula, Master Alar, Master Walter.
Morning, Mr.
Coffee. Coffee will be ready in just a moment.
Take your time,
I have
please.
a fresh sourdough in the oven. Is there anything that particularly strikes your fancy this morning to break your fast?
Pancakes!
Pancakes. I suppose I can whip something up.
Just coffee, thank you.
Very well, sir.
I'll see if I can snag a couple of the pancakes from Nula there.
Stanfield
At that point, Brahm will come through the front door of the house, looking very disheveled and dirty, unshaven, with like wild hair, and just go, "Hey," and go up the stairs.
Namara is sitting in the sitting in the parlor in her kind of usual chair. As you sort of come in, you give her sort of the hey, and her blinded eyes are just sort of vacantly pointed in the direction of the large like bay front window. As you come in, she says, "Good morning, Mr. Replock. You seem beleaguered this morning. I can hear it in your voice and your footsteps." And as you kind of go up the stairs, so you sort of go up the stairs. Fascinating.
Hey, Lars, that's something we need to be concerned with.
I haven't decided yet. I'll know after coffee.
Well, if somebody comes knocking in the next hour, we'll know it's a problem.
Should we get Fidget?
What do you mean, should we get Fidget? Is he not here?
Well, it's the three of us waiting for pancakes.
Well, it's also stupid early, so
I don't know what time a goblin usually wakes up.
Well, he's also a wizard, so they do need a full night's rest in order to regain spells, and he could be sleeping in.
that seems awfully impractical and inconvenient, but he does have some amazing magics at his disposal, so.
I mean, he can drop lightning bolts and he saw us through that ship. As far as I'm concerned, he's allowed to sleep.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you want to go get him? Would that make you feel better?
I will go check on Fidget.
Alright. Newly, you can kind of head out of the room. As you do so, Stanfield is kind of shuffling through some boxes.
Oh, bother. Where's my good pan? Oh, this one will not do it all. Oh, here we are.
As you kind of leave the room, he says,
pancakes in, let's call it 10 minutes, Miss Nula.
Thank you.
I shall
I'm
begin
just gonna
preparing.
get
Very good. I shall begin preparing your customary whipping cream.
Fidget.
Would you like a hand, Stanfield? I mean, I'm certainly not anywhere near your skill level, but I can certainly stir or something.
he kind of smiles a little. He says,
I would certainly never presume to ask you to take part in the labors of preparing the household meals. It is what they pay me for, after all, but I suppose this might be one of the last breakfasts we all have together in this establishment, and, well, for nostalgia's sake, if you wish to lend a hand, I can certainly put you to work, young man.
Direct me, sir.
calls you over and begins the process of making some pancakes. So Nula, as you're heading upstairs, yes?
Yep.
Alrighty, take it away.
As Nula goes upstairs, I will come out of my room in what seems like a impossible amount of time. I am now like completely normally dressed, clean shaven, and look 100% normal, and just blow past her on the stairs. Hey.
Wait. What happened last night? Where were you?
What?
Where were you last night?
Some places.
Doing what?
Doing some stuff.
What stuff?
Cool stuff. And I like boop her on the nose and go down the stairs.
I will knock on Fidget's door. Knock, knock, knock. Fidget. Fidget. I will open the door.
Is Fidget's door locked? Is Carlos
Did Carlos
alive?
Carlos either froze or is
He's
standing
sitting
so
very
perfectly still.
still.
It shut itself off. Okay. His computer has nuked itself.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, we'll come back to Nula in a minute. I was like looking at him. I'm like,
He's not moving.
He's
He's
like, oh,
not
wait.
breathing.
okay. We will come back to that in a second.
The world will never know if his door is locked.
Meanwhile, downstairs, Brahm, you kind of, as you're coming down the stairs, Namara kind of like glides into the hallway behind you, headed for the kitchen. She kind of tilts her head a little bit as she falls into step behind you. She says, You seem cleaner. That was oddly quick. Oh, prepare yourselves, Twitch viewers, for that. All of our cameras have gone crazy.
I fixed it.
Happened.
That'll be... Jason and Adam's box in the Twitch thing is like... that's quite funny.
Now I'm thinking with portals.
Well, he'll be back shortly. Proceed.
I don't remember what I was gonna say. Yeah. Thanks for moving again.
What a delightful conversationalist.
You certainly like sneaking up on people, don't you? You're like a stealthy grandma. Also former band name of mine, Stealthy Grandma.
I would not call it
Stop
sneaking.
scaring Namara.
I would not call
Really,
it.
she's scaring me.
I would not call it sneaking per se. I just happen to wear slippers most places, and well, you're not the most observant group of house guests. Sometimes it seems.
Yeah, I guess. I got my eye on you, lady.
I have
Poor
my
choice
eye
of
on
words.
you as well.
Go
Though
on
I
with
suppose,
that.
though I suppose that has not as much bang for its buck.
I got my ears on you, guys.
I have my ears on you.
Walter's just sitting there, like, sipping his coffee, enjoying this nonsense.
I have my third eye on you, which, for all you know, is a valid threat.
Alar's gonna
Oh, boy.
mage hand a cup of tea over to Namara. There you go, miss.
Sort of kind of floats into her vicinity, and she sort of like, sort of gingerly until her back of her fingertips hit the cup, and then she takes it. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Huh. Good idea, Alar. I'll mage hand my empty coffee cup towards Brahm. Be a dear and deal with this, would you?
Take the coffee cup and I just like crush it into like pieces. And then I hand it back. I hand it back to Walter. There you go, dealt with.
Ah! Those are my grandmother's cups.
Walter did it.
There's like ceramic just coating on my shoulder, I assume at this point. It's like, I'll get you a. I'll stop by an antique store. Sorry, Stanfield. Oh, wait, was it Stanfield's?
Yeah.
It kind of cracked out. I assumed it was Stanfield's.
Ah, my grandmother's cups.
Come on, Brahm.
Namara's kind of like.
That's not the first time Brahm's broken a #1 mom mug.
It's true.
Who the heck were you anyway?
I was taking care of some last minute business in the city.
Something that we need to be worried about?
No, nothing really panned out. So,
Okay.
underground bard fighting pit. What? No,
Underground.
no.
That can't be true. You still have all your teeth.
Yeah, it was a joke.
Sometimes it's hard to tell.
So, do we hear any noise from
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Nula as she's pounding desperately on the door?
Round 2 of Nula going out to find Fidget.
Fidget! Bam, 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 bam.
There is not an answer. The door is not locked, though.
I open it. Fidget!
I like to imagine that Fidget's room is, like, basically empty, but there's, like, a rat's nest of blankets in the corner,
Okay.
and there is no one in the room.
I'm like rushing through all the blankets. So like I've just completely undone his nest. And then I run downstairs. Fidget's gone!
What do you mean Fidget's gone?
He's not in his nest.
So let's just turn over to Brahm.
What did you do to Fidget?
I didn't do anything to Fidget.
Was it the same thing you did to my teacups, you monster?
It was one teacup.
It's 100 years. It was 100 years old.
We're 100 years old.
Yes, and I've had that teacup since I was a boy. And you smashed it. For a
Mom, what did
joke?
you do to his teacup?
It broke my teacup. I feel so
Not even
betrayed.
over this. It was Walter.
Rom, apologize.
So Walter?
No! Apologize to Stanfield for what you did. And then we're gonna figure out where the hell Fidget went to.
Does cure wounds work on a teacup?
Does prestidigitation work on a teacup?
Mending, I think we need, or make whole.
Stanfield, when I get that, I will do that.
I'm sorry I broke a cup, but it was to teach Walter a lesson not to be a douche.
Mage
Listen,
hand smack
no.
upside the head of Brahm.
And then Namara goes, and the teacup just fixes itself.
The problem fixed itself.
He goes, oh, thank God. He says, I did not
I
want
knew
to
she
do
did
that
that.
until Brom had apologized. Otherwise, he would not have learned his lesson. She kind of like
You're
tilts her
assuming
head.
he
She's like,
learned
I'm
anything
pretty sure
now."
he didn't learn his lesson, but it seems you have a fidget problem, so it seemed better to not let this teacup situation carry on any longer.
I appreciate that greatly. Alright. When's the last time any of us saw him?
Yesterday.
Oh no, he didn't get taken along with the animals that were rescued, did he?
No, he came back with us, I'm pretty sure.
Where's Nula the horse? Is he with Nula the horse?
We're gonna have to go to the stables and find out.
To the tables.
Are there pancakes yet? Did I just miss that because computers are bad?
There are like
They're
about to be. They got delayed a little bit as the pancake making process was stalled by Stanfield's grief at the loss of his grandmother's teacup.
Okay.
But there are like, I mean, there are definitely like pancakes in pans cooking. So there is
Pancake smell.
there is the imminent threat of pancakes does loom large over the party at this point.
So
Did you see the threat of pancakes?
The imminent threat of pancakes looms large. Yes.
The pancakes are coming! The pancakes are coming!
so once the pancakes are done, we'll just have to quickly eat them, and then we can look for Fidget.
Did anybody check this floor for Fidget?
Fidget!
Walter says sitting on the couch and not moving at all to get up.
I start running from room to room to room. I lift the seat cushions. Fidget!
I will help Stanfield with setting out the plates and pancakes when they're ready.
Should I roll a perception check?
You can, but I don't know where Fidget is either, so it will be up to Carlos to tell you to tell you what's going
I
on.
mean, I can tell you where Fidget is. Well, let me find this.
Nat 20 plus 2.
He perceives through the wall and sees Fidget.
As Nula is like, you hear like as Nula, and this is just like Fidget, accompanied by these sort of like
I have texted you the location of Fidget,
Okay.
so we can figure out how to resolve this.
accompanied by the like of the Blinky the Blink dog, just like, yes, I don't know what we're doing, but I am into this. Just like blinking around the house. Stanfield does begin serving pancakes. A stack of about 5 get set at Nula's empty place setting. Alar and Namara and Walter all get like a 2 stack of flapjacks. And then with like a resounding like tack, a plate goes down in front of Brahm that has one like shitty, slightly burnt pancake on it.
It was just like a pancake in the shape of a middle finger. That's fine. I wasn't hungry anyway. And I will, I'll pick up the syrup thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pour my syrup, and I will catch a slight reflect because I assume it's a metal thing.
Sure.
Catch a slight reflection, and Brahm will subtly wipe something from its neck.
Okay. I would say Brahm make a sleight of hand, and anybody else who's like
I just realized I didn't bring the
observant
dice tray. Now I have to use
can
my
make a
dice
perception
roller.
if they'd like.
I am really into my coffee pancakes.
Oh, you texted it to me. I thought you were texting it to Becca. Okay,
No.
got it.
25 perception. What's your sleight of hand, man?
Carlos, go ahead and make a stealth, either a sleight of hand or a stealth check yourself. You can do so with advantage.
My sleight hand is an 11 because I rolled a 5, but I have a plus.
Okay, what were you wiping away?
It was a lipstick smear.
So,
I got a nat
take
1, so like I didn't even hear his question or his response. Just like
Fidget rolled back-to-back nat 20s for a 25.
Okay. What was Alar's perception there?
25.
Oh,
So
okay.
Kai would go to the hider.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I
you're
would work-
you're looking at Brahm at this point.
Yeah.
Let me just do one more thing. Okay. All right. Proceed.
Oh, taking care of business.
Every day. Every way.
Mm-hmm. Strange name, that business.
What, like you mean like the word business is a weird deal?
No, and there's just there's a slight lift of an eyebrow, just to let you know. I noticed.
Yeah, just had to take care of some people and whatnot.
So, Nula, you have kind of run around a good portion of the building at this point, calling and looking for Fidget. Dimios is kind of in the process of coming out of his room. He kind of like sees you like running back and voices. You are missing your small goblin friend. Is that the case, Miss Nula?
Yes. Yes. Have you seen him?
I'm afraid that I have not this morning. I'm only leaving my room for the first time now. And then from behind you, there's like, BAM! And Colin comes out in like a striped set of long pajamas, and he just leans his head out the way. He's like, "Oi! Who the balls is Fidget, and who the balls are you, and why are you shouting in my hallway at 6 o'clock in the bloody morning?"
There's pancakes downstairs.
He's like, "Good call. I did smell the pancakes. I was just about to say, whatever your problem is less important to me. So good luck with that. I am going to go get pancakes."
I like to think that
Pancakes!
he's wearing pancakes with wearing pajamas with the butt flap, but he has them on backwards and the flap is open.
Worse.
He might, but his beard is long enough that it covers. So he goes, "Right, well, good luck with your whatever you're doing, whoever you are." And then he turns around and he goes back into his room for a second, and then he comes back out and he has the alchemy jug under one arm and he's like, "Pancakes, okay." And he thunk 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 heads off down the stairs.
What
Alright,
that man does with that jug is unholy.
Alright, I gotta eat these pancakes really quickly and then resume searching for Fidget. I will go down.
Try,
Good luck to you, Miss Nulla.
doesn't somebody here have message or something, whatever? Why don't we just text him?
So Nulla and Colin both come back into the kitchen. Colin grabs a stool, slides it, sits down, looks at the kitchen full of people, goes, "All right, bunch of strangers in the kitchen at 6 in the morning. That's fine. Stanfield, cake me." And Stanfield sets a stack of pancakes in front of Colin. And he goes, "Right, it's business time." And takes the jug. He goes,
Colin, I swear, if that's anything but honey coming out of that alchemy jug.
"Mayonnaise."
Alright. Just throw his hands up.
The jug kind of makes a noise like. And he
Well, practice is over.
pops the lid off. And he goes, "Stanfield, my mayo spoon, please." And Stanfield's like, "Ugh. Very good, sir."
I just give Stanfield a gentle pat on the shoulder. It's okay.
He takes
Alright.
his food and he says, "This is an insult to culinary art." That's Colin's voice. This is an insult to the culinary arts. Here you are, Master Copperkittle. Colin goes, "Thank you." And it's just like. Sets the jug down. "Okay." And he begins to eat his
Right.
pancakes. Nulla, you on the other hand notice that there is no pancakes in front of you. There's no pancakes at your spot.
Oh.
Everybody else seems to have gotten pancakes, but you.
Well,
Oh.
kinda.
Pancake.
I mean, I can just eat syrup and whipped cream. That's good.
I conjure Scooter the Weasel.
Stanfield's like, "What? No, I served pancakes. Did one of you take the plate?"
Find him.
So you're summoning Scooter and setting Scooter loose.
Yep.
Okay. Scooter can make a perception check.
He does so with advantage because of smell.
Sure.
Can I look under the table real quick?
Yeah.
I look under the table.
Go ahead.
25.
So
Natural 20.
there is what appears to be a largely snarfed plate of pancakes under the table.
Did Blinky
Fidget,
get
get out of there!
Is Fidget there with the pancakes?
There's pancakes. Or there's what once was pancakes, perhaps.
I will pull the plate back out. Like,
Okay,
someone
Mueller
eat-
reaches down to pull the plate. And I assume the plate comes out. I assume the plate comes out. All right, so you have like, there's like a third of a pancake that definitely looks like it was like eaten with somebody's hands instead of a knife and fork. It's just like, but most of your pancakes have been eaten.
2 plates of pancakes were desecrated this day.
Well, at least we know that Fidget is nearby. And I just get the entire bowl of whipped cream and start eating the bowl of whipped cream.
Colin kind of like is watching all these like, whoa. I've seen this before. You got pancake ghosts.
No, we just have a goblin that doesn't want to be seen right now.
That's it. And I pull out Bianca.
Okay.
And I cast Fairy Fire in the radius of the table because I want to find him.
Wait. No,
He's
you're
gonna glow if he's invisible.
Most of
That's
the
not
most
strictly
of the
true.
kitchen is now glowing.
Oh boy. What's the save?
What is the spell save? As everybody is gonna need to make the check.
Dex 15.
It's a deck save?
What it says. It says attack save. Dex 15.
And what color is the illumination?
Violet.
Okay.
Okay.
Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is outlined in light if it fails a dexterity saving throw.
I am not.
And they don't
aligned
get the
with light.
benefits of being invisible.
And I rolled a nat 1.
Both, yeah. So Nula glows. Both Stanfield and Colin like illuminate. Namara does not.
I do. Alar
Okay.
does.
Yeah,
forgot
I'm
to roll
safe.
for Fluter. Let's see. +2.
Fidget rolled a 1, but what if it was a 14 or a 16?
Legend. Alright, now I cast Shillelagh.
Uh,
The door
I
to the
think this is
kitchen.
the time that Fidget comes down the stairs. It just says, "Did someone say pancake ghosts?" I've heard about those.
see, it's pancake ghosts.
So is anything else glow?
Yes. Scooter the Weasel is
pancake?
glowing, and he's giving you the eye. What about Blinky?
You can give me a roll. I'll get the deck stats for Blink Dog.
Fidget, did you eat my pancakes?
Yeah.
I'm upstairs.
Dimios Dimios walks into like the doorway right like behind Fidget as Fidget is like standing in the doorway, and he just like looks at the entire kitchen like glowing bright magenta, and he's like, okay, I will skip breakfast today and I will have lunch later. And he just turns around and goes back upstairs. Does what?
If I was in the radius,
I don't
do I have to roll?
think so.
It says any creature within
Oh,
it.
maybe.
Does
Then
that
I guess you do.
count?
Okay, yeah.
Let's see if I glow.
I don't know if I've ever had anybody cast Fairy Fire on themselves in all of my my
it's
time
just the-
together.
Or is this the episode that we
No,
learned
I-
that Brahm is not a creature?
I don't glow.
Okay. So yeah, literally everything in the kitchen is now aglow except for Brahm and Namara. And
Walter
Fidget.
also saved.
Oh, and what's that?
I also saved, so.
Oh, you saved. Okay. So Walter, Brahm, and Namara are not glowing. Everybody else and everything else is glowing bright magenta in the kitchen. Dimios has just turned around and gone back upstairs. And Fidget is in the doorway.
So you said you did eat my pancakes.
Yes.
Well,
Are you
that's...
lying?
I don't know why he would lie about eating pancakes.
How did
Yeah.
he eat pancakes from upstairs, Walter?
He obviously snuck past all of us.
Counterpoint, and I missed step upstairs.
Good, he's gone. Now we don't have to hear what he was going to say.
Fidget, why didn't you just ask for pancakes?
You guys are really loud. I just want some quiet.
I was a.
What do you mean I'm loud?
Alar's just going to pour himself another cup of coffee and glowing, along with his glowing celestial weasel. He's going to head out to the sitting room.
We were worried about you.
Why?
Because you went missing.
And?
Something could have happened to you.
Don't say we. It was mainly you. I assumed he was fine just because he wasn't around for pancakes.
Who would miss pancakes?
Oh, I was concerned.
Point of order.
I was concerned about Piglet too. For the
Point of
record.
order, I did not miss pancakes.
But I miss pancakes now.
And?
And you should apologize!
Fight,
Yeah.
fight.
I mean, I'm good.
I'm just gonna mope and eat my whipped cream.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna pour maple syrup on my whipped cream and just eat that.
So can Dragonborn not get diabetes? Is that like canonical?
Well.
Can lizards get diabetes?
Questions for another time.
That's almost as bad as do beholders have buttholes.
That's do beholders have buttholes was a question that once derailed our session for a full 20 minutes.
Thanks to Curtis.
Thank you. Yep, thank you, Curtis. Alrighty. Well.
That man is a father now. / soon.
Well, maybe.
Soon. Little tiny Osrius is
causing
Let him out.
chaos and delaying things.
shortly Osrius Jr. is shortly to rage and make a grand entrance. So Stanfield can prepare more pancakes for Nula.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Stanfield.
Yes, of course. Perhaps it would have been wise to have left some of the whipped cream for the second round, but I can share some of my mail if you want that.
I don't. But thank you.
More for me.
Stanfield's like,
Very good, sir. Yes, excellent. Well done. Good. I shall bring coffee to the sitting room for any who wish to partake before they start their day's adventures.
and he does go about kind of making a tray, which he brings out. Eventually, Namara heads out as well, goes back to her usual chair out there, joining Alar out in the parlor. What are the rest of you guys up to?
Alar is in the sitting room. He has a general map of Mithlinde, and he's kind of plotting out the route from Naviria to Terra Libra.
Walter will also have headed down to the setting room, and
Okay.
I guess we'll kind of like try to peek over the shoulder, see what's going on with Alar's nonsense. Map finding expedition.
Alright. As you guys are kind of doing that, Namara is continuing to sort of sip her tea. And she, after kind of a while, she says, I do not know if we have had this discussion yet. I believe the movers that we have paid to transport all of our belongings that are too large to cost effectively be sent through the transit network. They should be coming today for the bulk of our possessions to begin the caravan to Terra Libra.
And that is obviously where we are bound, but what of all of you? You have secured your associate membership to the Ordinem, but our contract is ended. What is next for the Fools Errant, as it were? Will you continue to travel together?
I was thinking about it. Well, I have to wait for the others to find out what they had planned, but I'd like to, but I'd also like to visit Terra Libra. I mean, it's been a dream of mine since when I first heard of the place.
It has been many years since I was last in the vicinity. Of course, I was not... had not yet obtained the membership that we now have, so there were certain portions of the city that were not accessible at that time, but the larger part of it is lovely. As you can imagine, as a center for both arcane and technological knowledge within the realm, and boasting a rather impressive university, the city is quite well taken care of. Something to behold. The parks I remember being particularly lovely.
What about you, Walter? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go from here?
You know, family's safe at home, and I have things to see out here, so I'm certainly happy to continue traveling with everyone. Much more reliable group than the last one.
You traveled with a group previously?
A few errands on business.
Ah.
Not all of them make it, and it wears on you every so often, but you know, nature of adventuring. But this group has survived quite well. Except for Cal.
We're not dead.
Am I in the room at this point, or am I still in the
You can
kitchen?
be wherever you want to be. You have free will.
I will come in and be like, who's talking about, Cal?
It's more in memoriam, but you know, saying this particular group of ours has survived quite well for being a bunch of strangers that got teleported to a middle of a field on a strange night.
Yeah. Certainly seems like it worked out well.
What about you, Nuala? Namara asked, what are our plans? For myself, I would like to visit Terra Libra, but wouldn't mind sticking around with the group if everybody else decides they wish to go somewhere else.
Well, I wouldn't mind going to the next city and seeing if anyone has seen Corey. And if not, then I'll go to the next city. And if not, then I'll go to the next city.
Well, I mean, the bookkeepers have resources that we certainly didn't have access to before, mate. There's a possibility that they might be able to help you track down your friend.
Yeah, that seems like that'd be a good idea. How about you, Fidget, who eats my pancakes?
I mean, more pancakes would be nice.
Okay, beyond the pancakes, what would you like to do?
Usually there's a place that I'm supposed to be. And I don't know where or when that is right now.
Okay, on occasions where that occurs, where you go, I don't know where I'm supposed to be yet. What do you do?
Usually what I did this morning.
Steal other people's pancakes.
I mean, it's not always pancakes.
steal other people's
Welcome.
stuff.
Was it not gonna ask him to explain how he's stealing pancakes from other rooms?
Yeah, how are you stealing
gonna blow
pancakes
past
from
that?
over here?
I mean, I wasn't in another room. I came downstairs early. Then you all started moving around, so I went under the table, and I was invisible. Then I heard pancakes, so I waited for pancakes. And then I had pancakes, and then I left.
Well, what were you doing being invisible in the room? Why
Oh, you
wouldn't
guys were loud. I wasn't ready to deal with you. It's
being
like
in-
6 in the morning.
Yeah, that's fair.
Brahm, what about you?
Well, I'm usually used to being told what I'm supposed to do next, and that's not gonna happen.
No.
So I'm not really sure.
Well, I mean, besides,
I probably shouldn't
us
stick
telling you-
around here.
Well, if we have a cart, we have a horse or two.
I would like to go where certain people don't necessarily know exactly where I am.
Well, I mean, I don't know whether the Brotherhood have a lot of hooks into the bookkeepers, but seems Terra Libra might be a decent place to go.
Possibly. It's at least definitely worth checking out.
Well, I
So-
mean, we could
Is
try to
it, though?
teleport.
Then we have to deal with that Tori and Adrian guy, and I don't like him.
Oh,
It's a big, it's a fairly
think of how
big
much
thing.
fun you had
don't-
last time.
You might not run into him. He might not want to run into you.
Have you met him?
Yes.
Yes.
He's not going to pass up a chance to do his whole mysterious stranger thing.
You still have another favor from him, so he's going to avoid contact unless he absolutely has to.
I don't think that's true. I don't think he'd want it going around that he's avoiding me to get out of fulfilling his side of a deal. He probably deals in reputation quite a bit.
On the other hand, he might not want it known that somebody managed to outwheel and deal him.
I mean, it's too late for that. I get to tell people that part.
Yeah, but with all due respect,
Yeah, you did pretty much make that guy eat shit. That's pretty cool.
you're you.
I don't know what that means.
Never mind.
Is this a goblin thing?
You being racist, ALR?
Maybe.
Well, now I don't know if I want to continue hanging out with racists. But you have a point. He is a goblin.
What's goblins?
Well, there's nothing wrong with goblins. Might be something wrong with fidget sometimes, but nothing wrong with goblins.
That's definitely a title of a book in the library we just came from. What's wrong with goblins?
Well, if path isn't clear, we could always just hop in the cart and head towards Terra Libra and see what happens.
Easy enough. We can pick up some extra supplies. It's
Save a bit from teleporting, unless we have an invitation. Wonder if it's accessible by road anyway.
should be. I mean,
Should we offer to take some of their stuff?
Feel it?
I mean, we could join their stuff caravan.
yeah. If they
Could
want, if there are items that they want protected.
Namara, who's kind of been like sipping her tea at this point, she says, I am sure there is room in the budget to hire on a few extra caravan guards if it is something that you are interested in doing.
Well, I wasn't going to ask for pay, but
Ah,
I was.
it is the least I could do, and also I know
It's
Walter.
something never do it for free.
Exactly.
Well, that. Now we have a plan.
It's not really a plan so much as a vague direction.
No, it's
What a
pretty
direction
cool.
to start.
We follow this road, and eventually it takes us to
More-
Terra.
It's more of a plan than we usually have for things.
That is true.
Just go check on Henrietta and see how she's doing. Make sure settle our debts there.
Yeah.
I can go take care of that if you guys have other things
Also,
to do
I
in the
have
city.
to go pick up my hat.
Your
The most important business.
So where were you last night? Where were you last night?
I was seeing some people about some things. Don't worry about it.
Seeing some people about some things.
Right, I'm gonna get my hat. Bye.
Can I grab him and pull him back?
You can try.
Simply try.
Would that be a strength check?
Mhm.
22.
Let me get contested strength roll.
I think I only have a +1 strength, but let me open my character sheet, find out. Oh, it's a +0. Just a 19.
All right, so Nula, Brahm goes to like walk out the door, and Nula just like both shoulders and holds you in place.
Zone of truth.
Jesus.
I should go wide. Oh, crap. What's
Stanfield,
the save?
charisma save. Stanfield, who had like just walked through the door with a fresh tray of coffee, as Nula goes, "Zone of truth." He goes, "No, no, no, no," and he just leaves the room.
What is Nula's spell save? I think I beat it, but I just want to verify.
What is your spell save, Nula?
Where is this
Now
in my
you
truth?
do let me see. Do you have to make this save every time you try and lie?
13.
I think you do.
You create a magical zone that guards against a deception in 15-foot radius, centered on a point. Till the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn, or starts its turn there, must make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, the creature can't speak a deliberate lie.
Okay, so you don't have to remake the save every time you try and lie.
Every couple of times. It seems like it's each round, so I would say
Yeah, it's
probably, like
each
every
round.
couple of times you'd have to make the save, but
Okay.
whatever's most fun for everybody, I guess.
That's true. Okay, well, keeping in mind, Nula is aware of who succeeded and who failed.
Oh, I succeeded.
So did I.
I made the save by a lot.
So did Namara.
Fidget failed.
And Brahm?
Oh, you should have known better than to try a charisma check on a bard. Brom very much succeeded.
I guess I should roll my own.
You're in the zone of truth.
I rolled a 19, so I
Okay,
had
so
saved
you
against
succeed
myself.
against your own spell.
Nula? Why?
I
Two
want
things.
to win!
Two things. First thing, massive invasion of privacy. Second thing, this is a flawed logic because I either A, could have stepped out of it, or B, just get my mouth shut.
He's got a point.
Demios is on the stairway, having just walked down. I am not going to involve myself in whatever is happening here. I would
That's
just
wise.
like to point out that your contract as employees with our organization is at this point concluded. I will have to begin charging you for any damaged property. That is all. And then he goes back upstairs again.
We're at least standing in the street. We're standing in the street. This is public property.
We're in the city.
You're in the sitting room.
Yeah,
She like
you-
caught you as you went to
you-
leave.
No, I
You
thought
tried
she
to
told me
leave.
as I was going
She,
out.
she
the
tried to
front
stop
door.
you to leave. Yeah, she stopped you from leaving.
Oh boy.
All right, look. Grom doesn't want to talk about what he did last night. So, one question, and I will let it drop.
All right.
Like I asked before, but Nula wasn't there at the time. There's nothing that's going to come back and haunt us, right?
You? No.
You maybe, though.
Haunt is a strong word.
Hey, can I ask a question?
It's not gonna be dangerous.
Insight
Fidget, you are always free to ask questions.
15.
Oh, do I? You know, should I make
Fidget,
it
what's your question?
I mean, are you telling the truth, or are you trying to
Yes. No, that was the truth.
lie? Okay. All right, I believe that. So I'm willing to let it sit. I'm willing to go with Walter to go check on the cart and Henrietta and Nula the horse. I don't care what the rest of you guys.
Right.
I'll come
Now,
with.
without further ado, I'm going to go get my hat, and I will turn and storm out of the room. But unbeknownst to Brahm, a piece of paper falls out of his pocket.
Okay.
All right, well, that didn't work.
Well, what did you want to ask, Fidget?
Seems like there are a lot of underlying trust issues, and everyone has their own things that they want to go do, and you're not all employed together anymore. So I guess I'm kind of wondering why everyone would continue to be together. Why don't you just go look for your friend? Why doesn't Brahm just go off and do all his secret stuff?
I
Like,
guess
being together seems to make everyone real mad a lot of the time.
You mean really loud a lot of the time? I guess you have a good point.
I mean, surely there's a reason. Or there's not. I don't know. I'm new here.
Well, didn't you yourself, Fidget, say that there's something in the grand weave of fate that tied us all together?
That's certainly one possibility. The other possibility is that I'm wrong and just a crazy goblin.
We also have Nula's encounter with Corey, where she said we need to stick together.
I mean, traveling with you guys has opened up a lot more questions about things in this world than I had previously experienced, so I am certainly happy to continue with everyone.
I've certainly gained a lot more knowledge and experience than I would have had traveling on my own. I mean, there's no way I would have found out about Stone Mill, to say nothing of the Motherlode delve that we just did in Honorand.
And I'm not saying that things haven't worked out for you guys. I'm just saying it seems like some people are still holding back, and some people are still putting personal goals ahead of potentially what could be group goals.
Like what group goals?
I don't know. That's what this would be the time to figure out.
Oh, that was part
like your contract is over. You can go do anything, be anywhere.
That's why I asked what everybody wanted to do.
Yeah, but everyone has their personal answers. I don't care. Like I'll sit here and I don't care if there's a home or not. I'll find something. I can steal pancakes from whoever I want.
Are you suggesting possibly drawing up a fresh contract amongst the group to create a shared goal?
Could be a fresh contract. Could be going to a new place and looking for new work there. It could be trying to solve one of these problems that you've uncovered? Like, you have lots of questions. Some of them could be big, some of them could be nothing. I have no idea.
Well, one of the reasons I want to go to Terra Libra is they've gotten resources that heretofore I would never have had access to. I am a little bit curious about what we learned thanks to Brahm's X organization about the buildup between the Ignean border and the Mythlindian border. The Igneans are not exactly, how do I put this? They believe that all the entire continent of Arhol is theirs, and that's a problem.
So here's a question. Why would we go to Terra Libra and not just go to the border ourselves?
Resources?
I don't understand. I'm not used to having things.
The bookkeepers are the largest non-political organization in the entire world, in all of Egeria. They have access to a great deal of information, and they can, and their agents can, with permission, cross borders. I'm willing to bet that there's a lot of information to be had at Terra Libra. They may have even, they may not know what's going on, but they may have information that could aid in finding an answer to that question. So I'd like to go there first.
I mean, that's all well and good, but my experience with organizations is that they have their own interests, and they lie to people and take advantage of people. And
how many organizations have you been part of, Fidget?
This one.
Okay, so you've got one.
And we lie?
100%.
And we lie to people?
I mean, everyone has secrets. Are we all being completely honest about everything that's going on?
I mean, I think everyone knows I'm looking for my friend Corey. And now Gregory, but...
And some people may not want to talk about some things that are going on simply because they don't feel it pertains to what is currently going on. Which is their right, Fidget.
I guess I'm asking then, why do all of you pertain to each other?
If I might
Just because...
interject. Namara speaks. She's been kind of quietly listening for a bit. She says, I asked you, Ayla, the very same question that Fidget is posing. You are no longer employed under our organization. And if not for the intervention of Mr. Idrian on our behalf, the group of you may never have come together, and certainly may not have found a foothold in this life of relic hunters that you have taken up the path on. This is, of course, the time to ask yourselves these questions. What will you do now? You are no longer bound to us. Do you wish to stay together? What is your next step? I do not pretend to know the answers to any of these questions, nor would I presume to influence any of your decision. I would perhaps offer a question to ask yourselves. After everything that has happened since you all came together, do you find that at the end of the day, you are better off now? Or were you better off before? It seems to me that since all of you came together, quite a few things have changed for all of you. It is not my place to say whether those are good or bad, only to note that they seem to be happening. So, the question is, are you happier now with these people? Or were you better off before?
I definitely think I'm better off now than I was before.
I don't have to be at the wall now. No one is happy at the wall.
This is certainly a much more lucrative opportunity than I've had access to previously.
So, to try and answer your question, Fidget, I don't need to know everything about Walter to want to help Walter. I don't need to know everything about Nuala to want to help Nuala. I don't need to know everything about you, Fidget, to want to help you.
Namara gets up and she's gonna kind of make her way out of the room now, and you get the impression that she's kind of leaving you guys to your private discussion at this point. She just sort of, as she gets to the door, she kind of she just turns and she says, "I will leave you now, but in all of the years that I have traveled with Dimios and Colin, it does seem, and it has always seemed like there were more days when I wanted to crack both of their skulls together than days that I was pleased with the way they behaved themselves. But beneath it all, I always felt that I was on the right path when we were together. Ask that same question of yourselves. You have lived and traveled and worked together. Some of you for less time, she gestures at Fidget. Some of you for longer, almost a year now. If you find that you care about one another, then the answers to the rest of these questions do not matter. She kind of points a hand, she gestures a hand towards Fidget. She says, organizations have their own agendas. That is always the case. But everyone must draw a line somewhere. On one side of that line, there have to be people you trust. I can only say that it is my hope that if the group of you reflect, you will discover that for you, your friends here fall on the right side of that line. Beyond that, the universe has a way of making things work out. And she kind of just leaves the room.
Taylor is going to look down, see the piece of paper. He's going to pick it up, going to fold it and put it in a pocket.
Does that satisfy your answer, Fidget?
I think it says what I need to know.
Okay. Who wants to go see the horses? I have.
Love to check on Henrietta. I'm sure she hates me by now for leaving her alone for 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Something like that.
No, we only just got back. Time is weird.
I should probably take Blinky for a walk. I think the less time we spend in the house, the less likely Blinky's gonna break something.
That would probably be wise.
Alrighty, well then as the group kind of moves on their way to go about some various business, I think that's a good place to take our break. So bear with us for about 5 minutes or so. I'm going to give everybody a chance to refill their drinks, stretch their legs, empty their bladders, and we will be right back in a couple of minutes to see where things go for the remainder of tonight's episode. So thank you for joining us. Stick around. We'll be back in just a few minutes after this lovely slideshow of all of the other fantastic shows you can catch right here on Proficiency Bonus. thank you for sticking with us over the break. Everybody's drinks are freshened, their bladders are empty, and their legs are stretched. We return now after a brief intermission, a brief star wipe. Brahm had left the residence, while the remainder of the group kind of stayed, and after some initial prodding from Namara, and then some sort of follow-up, maybe a let's call it a more forceful prod from Fidget, the group have sort of scratched beneath the surface and discovered that there is maybe some more deeper discussion for them to have about their adventures together so far, and the fate of their collective traveling endeavors, and what comes next for them. So we will return now, following along with Brahm, as he returns from his brief errand, heading over to the Mages Guild's enclave, a little ways across the city, where he had arranged for his top hat and his ram's helmet that he had acquired from the brawling ring in Honorand, to be modified a little bit to more suit his style. So Brahm, currently tucked under your arm, is your top hat, which essentially has been affixed with a pair of ram horns attached to either side. There is some almost like hard hat kind of scaffolding inside the top hat now, to secure everything a little better. But on the payroll of the Collective of the Arcane Eye, as part of your deal with Colin for your jug of infinite mayo, the bill was footed, and it was determined that the major enchantments on that helmet were carved in runage into the ram's horns. So it was a simple enough matter just to essentially affix them to a different piece of headwear. So you now have a top hat with a pair of ram's horns on it. And at this point, let's call it about 30-ish, 40-ish minutes have passed since Brahm left originally. And now, Brahm, you kind of open the door into 28 Dorset, and you re-enter the premises.
Is everybody still sitting? Where's everybody else?
You guys tell me?
I imagine so. Unless Walter and Nula have both gone to check on the horses.
Yeah, I thought we were going to go get the horses, but we can be back by now.
Sure.
I don't think it was that far.
Yeah.
So you have Henrietta and Nula the horse, and do you have any other animals in our menagerie?
Monkey stays in the house.
Yeah, not that would have been stabled.
Yeah.
There's a second carriage attached to the first carriage that suspiciously carries a bunch of owlbear cubs.
Nola.
What? Hmm? Huh?
Nola, why is there a box saying evidence of the Mythlindian Home Guard, and it's suspiciously sounding like baby owlbears? I can't cast Stone of Truth, but I can make you feel very bad.
Is this going to be one of those "you're not mad, you're just disappointed" lectures?
No, I'll save that for Gregory.
Ooh, stab her in the ribs, why don't you? So since it hasn't been retconned out, can we have that evidence chain?
What's that?
Do we have to roll for the owlbear cub caboose?
You just
Definitely says evidence on the
you
side.
guys just worry about you just worry about yourselves. I'm figuring out what happens about your
So we're definitely gonna have to return that.
theft of owlbear cubs.
I'll take care of that.
If a group of owls is called a parliament, a group of bears is called, I'm not sure.
Well, I'm going to spend the rest of the day taking care of that.
It's a sleuth. It's a sleuth.
So is it a parliament sleuth? A group of owl bears?
I think we're all getting.
I think it would just be a
listening
detective
to
at that
this.
point. Group of owlbears is called a detective. It's decided.
But
Right.
I think Fidget did bring up some good points earlier. Brom, you kind of missed it. You ran off. He was asking why we stick together here as a group when so many organizations have failed us in the past.
So was he asking why we stick together as a group, or why we keep joining organizations?
Well, he said he's only been part of one organization, which is our group, which is a bunch of...
Fidget here?
Is Fidget here?
I have no idea. Is this supposed to be a private conversation?
No, I was doing it in the
It's
middle.
whatever
of
you
the
want.
room.
I'm just asking
I
if he's
assume
still here.
we're in a
'Cause
sitting
I think
room.
it's funny that we're talking about Fidget like he's not in the room, if he is in the room.
I was just waiting for him to speak up. I was assuming he was there.
I was also assuming he was there.
Okay, Fidget's there.
Well, Fidget, do you want to share your point of view?
I mean, I'm mostly curious why everyone's planning on hanging out together after your contract is up. Seems like you all have separate things that you want to go do.
So we have to explain to the goblin the concept of friendship. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, kind of, because you're all also like aggressively keeping secrets from each other.
Fidget
This is a good
offered-
point.
And Fidget didn't like that I cast Zone of Truth on a friend.
I don't care that you did that.
Oh, I thought that's part of it.
I think more to the point, I think he's upset that you felt you had to.
Not about things that don't matter. Like, who took your pancakes? I just told you that. Well, like, if everyone wants to go do different things and has different motivations, then what's keeping the group together?
Well, I think for most of us, first of all, it's a lot easier to not die when you have other people making sure you don't die. So that's a number one right there. Especially in our line of work, we come up against a lot of people trying to make us die. So,
And
Good to
not
have,
people making us die.
yeah, it's good to have some people you can kind of at least trust a little bit to make sure they're going to do what they can to help you not die.
Follow-up question. So are all of you just terrible people who go do things that make people want to kill you, and so you have to work with other terrible people who also have people who want to kill them?
Welcome to humanity.
It's not human. And neither am I. And neither is he. And neither is... It's not really only you, Walter.
Which is why Walter was the one that said it.
I mean,
That's a very broad statement of putting it, but
So you're not telling me I'm wrong, and that's distressing to me.
I don't think we're a group of terrible people. I think
So then why do people want to kill all of you?
because other people are terrible. Terrible people want to kill people, whether we're terrible or not.
I don't know how things are in Honorand. I've only spent very little time there, but up in Valand, it's very... People would kill you for your shoes. And before you say anything, I understand you don't wear shoes. It probably for the reason that you can't lose them if you don't have them. But you know, it's very rough up there. It's cold too much of the year. People work together because they have to survive, and other people are fighting those people for the very limited resources or territories. Companies buy up properties to maintain profits. It's all awful, and as terrifying as this adventure has been so far, this has been so much nicer than having to deal with the minutia and bureaucracy of my otherwise current organization.
But aren't you leaving your wife and kids to all that?
Not necessarily by Walter's choice. I mean, we do know Walter has to pay back a debt.
There's a lot of strings attached to that situation, but they are safest there.
They could help you on your journeys.
Lula, I don't think the places we go are really a great place for the wife and kids.
So why don't we go to different places?
Because sometimes you have to go to places you don't want to.
That's
Why?
literally not true anymore.
It's just like talking to a rock. Actually, I think a rock would be more would be easy to talk to. Look, I'm Fajita. Fajita? Fidget. Fidget.
Good point. We could just, chill elsewhere and not get stabbed.
Okay, here's the Fidget. Where do you want to go? So you don't have a better plan.
So my understanding is that Destiny has something in store for you guys. And there are certainly dangerous things and people in the world, and maybe it's fine to go kick some of those things down. It just seems strange to me that everyone has their own hangups, and that we're all just kind of fine with that. Like either you're friends or you're your own person, and all these things are fine. If everyone wants to go off and do their own thing, that's a reasonable thing to happen, right? I can just be a crazy goblin who hallucinated something. I'm sure that wouldn't surprise any of you.
So, all right, I think I've figured out the best way to sort of put things into perspective in a way that it might kind of click better for you. So you're saying, you're a big believer in destiny, like destiny and fate. That's your whole thing.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Okay, so that being the case, one can surmise that destiny brought this group of people together in the first place, correct? You would follow that logic?
That is one of many possibilities.
One of many, okay, so all right, we'll take that as the possibility that is possible. So, following that line of logic, is it not possible that maybe, yes, we all have our own little things we have to do, and yes, we're maybe not necessarily ready to share everything about ourselves to each other, but maybe the reason why Destiny brought us together in the first place is because it turns out that we need each other to get accomplished what we each individually want to do. Maybe what I want to do can't be done by myself, and that's why Destiny gave me you people. Maybe what Ayla wants to do, Ayla couldn't do just by himself. So Destiny threw a Dragonborn, a Goblin, a half-orc, forgot what I was for a second, a guy with a shovel, and a Goblin together. Question? Yes. Fidget.
I accept your premise. I have a follow-up question.
Yes.
So then why don't you tell us what that is so that we can go do that? Instead of keeping secrets. Why don't we start checking those things off the list?
All right, I'll start. I need 24,750 more gold. How are we gonna get that?
I give him a gold piece. Now you need 709 pieces of gold.
Okay, so Nula doesn't handle the finances from here on out.
I think it's okay to go a little slower. I can tell you in time why I need that gold, but for now, it's safest, I think.
But here's my point. Knowing that, we can approach things differently, knowing that we need 24,000 gold than we would otherwise. Like, we can aggressively look for larger jobs. We could go rob that bank right now.
I mean, I'm down.
No, we're not robbing any banks.
We have a paladin. Nobody's gonna suspect that.
Rom was already changing into like the ski mask from the Christmas adventure. Everything was like, oh, not robbing a bank.
No robbing banks. Just.
I mean, I don't want to foist all of those issues, especially if they're not pressing, on others. But I think it's probably okay to state motivations a bit more, I guess. Is that what you're getting at?
Well, like, what are we trying to solve?
I mean, I had some wacky visions a couple times that told me about you, for one.
I think I understand what Fidget's concern is here. And Fidget, I think I can answer your question, maybe not in a way that will completely satisfy you, but at least maybe make it make more sense. You are looking at things very black and white, or very green and white. And I think an answer that might help you is we don't all necessarily just know what we need to do. It's not like I wake up in the morning and I have this is what I need to do today. The universe has told me. Right now, at this point, I'm just trying not to get killed by a whole bunch of fucking guys that I used to work for. That's step number one. Yes, Fidget.
I like sharing because it means that we can make recommendations, and I have 2 recommendations.
What are your recommendations?
First, stop doing things that make people want to kill you. Second, let's go kill them first.
I like that you think big, Fidget. It's
These things are very black and white. We have a problem. Let's talk about how to fix it, and then let's go do that thing.
How many would that be killing?
I don't know.
It's like genocide number of people.
I think genociding an entire group of people might need to put a pin in at the moment until we develop a small number more allies. because I'm pretty sure 5 people and a blink dog and a horse and a separate but
Okay.
special fancy
Okay.
horse.
Brainstorming off of Fidget's suggestion, Fidget, we could, I think for now, look into what the organization might be doing. And as we do that, we can kill some of them on the way.
And to be fair, I'm pretty sure
Because right now I
he
think most
can't
of us are looking
unpiss
for
them off.
answers. Yeah, we can't unpiss them off. That's not...
What about bribery?
You think we have enough money?
Give us
Do we have enough money to
tonight?
bribe?
I cannot go into further debt to bribe people that are running major organizations. I don't have enough lives for that.
How many lives do you have?
Y'all only have the one. Technically.
That's yeah.
That was shifty, but okay. So
Sometimes you get a bonus.
sometimes you get a boner. Is that what he just said?
I said bonus.
Oh, I was gonna say this is
But
a
also,
long time.
But also, I mean, I'm human. I don't know what you expect.
I was gonna say not the metagame, Walter, but Christ, keep that to yourself.
There are just certain things you don't speak of in front of the paladin.
Look, I'm not the one that said boner. That was Brahm.
Sure.
Brahm hears what he wants to hear. It's not my fault. I mean, yeah, I'm happy to brainstorm getting ourselves to big problems. How about we work our way backwards?
Back
What
to
is
the
the- what-
bonus?
Back to the bonus. We start at the big problem we want to solve, and we figure out, working backwards from there, what steps we need to make to get to the point where we can start working our way towards it.
Agreed. And the only reason I agreed to go check out these book nerds in the first place is because A, they're a pretty huge operation and they know a lot of stuff about a lot of crap. So they might have information on my organization. I'm not really super interested in working for them. Worked for one big organization already, and that didn't turn out so great. So I'm essentially looking to use their resources for my own benefits and not really join their team.
Same. Oh.
Yes, Fidget.
What makes you believe that they're going to provide you with resources or real information?
Nobody said they were going to do it willingly, Fidget.
So they're a big organization, so they have lots of resources that we think we need, that we think that we can just take from a big organization without consequences. I understand why people want to kill you now. I get it.
You skipped 2 steps. In order to get something, you have to give something. You can't just take.
How do we know that what we're going to get from them is of any kind of value? The interactions you've had with organizations have not exactly left me feeling optimistic about additional interactions with large groups.
Look, I don't like it either, but at this point, I don't really have many options, Fidget.
You don't have any connections within your organization to try to help track down what's going on?
I don't know. People
So
you thought were
you
friends
trust-
for a long time may not have never been your friend in the first place.
But wouldn't you trust things that you can verify with your own contacts and your own eyes and your own friends more than things that Torian Adrian's organization tells you? When exactly has he been forthright and not trying to get extra things out of people? Why would this be different?
I don't know. For the first time in a long time, I'm the guy holding none of the cards. I'm not even sitting at the table with the guy who's dealing the cards. I don't fucking know, Fidget. Okay? I can only take my best guess at things. And you know what? The reason I'm sticking around with you people is because you give good suggestions like this, and unless I could be wrong, I don't think you people are going to stab me in the back like the other people that I thought were friends. The bottom line is, I guess for the first time, Brom Redlock has maybe a handful of people he can maybe trust.
Would you go so far as to call us friends?
You're pushing it, but I guess.
Fidget, in my previous business, we always came to the table with the understanding that those we were making deals with were directly or indirectly lying to us for their own benefit. We did what we could to stay on top, with the understanding that truth will eventually come out. No lie can stay forever. In time, everything is out. With a group like the Bookkeepers that are internationally known, apolitical, allegedly, I'm sure they have their own. Yes.
Isn't the whole point of them that they collect a whole bunch of artifacts and keep all of that secret? So the truth doesn't always get out?
Correct. And
Okay.
knowing that as a foundational fact.
DM note, that is decidedly not the point of the Bookkeepers.
Okay. Rewind then.
It's the opposite is the point of the Bookkeepers. They protect the knowledge and share it openly with any who seek it.
So, knowing their MO, after that minor rewind, they may not grant us full access to all of their archives for things that are objectively dangerous, but if there's going to be leads anywhere for any of our questions, that would be the best chance, because it's not like Valand where they're trying to directly profit off of it. It's not like Mithlande where they just want to keep things for their own uses to maintain their power, or the Ignean Empire who may want to use things for their own expansion. They are themselves, and working with them would be objectively safer than working with any of the local governments, especially with big questions. There's a lot of nonsense going on in the background. Something about this world isn't right, but it feels like there's a lot of people taking advantage of that for their own reasons. And what better way to figure out what the real truth is than by a group that is claiming to be, or openly is, outside of that sphere of influence. Also, they probably have a lot of cool stuff we can take if we're really sneaky.
And see, that's the reason why people would want to kill us, because we go and steal stuff.
First of all, that was sarcasm. We're not going to actually steal from the biggest apolitical organization in the world. Probably. No, we're not.
Do I need to cast Zone of Truth again?
You can do whatever you want.
No, Fidget told us that we need to start trusting each other, so I'm trusting you that you're not lying to the paladin standing before you.
I mean, I said what I believed, so whether it's accurate doesn't make it a lie.
Okay.
Okay. So, all that being said, Fidget, do you have any more questions?
As long as you think you know what you're getting into, I do not believe that I can stop you.
I would probably agree with you.
How about a revision of that statement? We don't know what we're getting into. But would you be willing to help us?
I think that remains to be seen.
Do you have a magic 8-ball under there? Is that where that came from?
Outcome unclear.
Well, I guess I'll be the one to say it then. If Fidget has so much concerns that it doesn't seem the rest of us necessarily share, is there any reason why we don't just let Fidget walk off into the gobbly sunset? I mean, if he can't confirm that he's not gonna just let me die somewhere, I don't know that I need him around.
Have you seen him? We can't let him go off into the sunset. He's got squashed.
He clearly doesn't really want to hang out with us.
I don't know if I could agree to that. There was some nonsense in a in-between place, and they told me to trust the goblin, and I think Fidget is that. And I need to dig at that itch. I need to figure out why more than I need to pay off this debt.
Would your wife and kids agree to that statement?
They're happy that I return home. They're happy that I'm alive. They're a little unclear about the reasonings, but they reap a lot of benefits for me being who and what I am. They're comfortable and safe as long as I am here.
Alar, what about you? You've been quiet this whole time.
Well, Brom's been making most of the points that I've been trying to make, and Walter's done a fairly good job as well. We need information. And I think going to Terra Libra is the best chance that we have of getting access to that information. As for myself, I've made it pretty clear. Working for the bookkeepers is a dream of mine. So, at least for myself, that's where I will ultimately want to end up. In the meantime, there are questions I want to answer. And I'm thinking the best info I think I can get access to is there. Will I be able to get all of it? Probably not. Will I be able to get access to some things that I probably would not be able to access anywhere else? No. So, that's one of the reasons why I want to go there. I'm willing to take the slow road because I want to help you, Nuala, in trying to find Corey. I'm also thinking that there may be an outside chance that there are resources that that organization has that can help you. Now, I get Fidget has trust issues with organizations in general and people as well.
And those issues aren't exactly misplaced.
Yeah,
Yes?
I'm not saying that they aren't, they aren't valid.
Yes,
But
Fidget?
yes, Fidget.
Why am I the one with trust issues with people? I've never lied about what I am or kept secrets about what I'm interested in or what I want to do. And as far as organizations go, Brom, how'd your relationship with your first organization go?
Fidget.
Walter, what about yours?
Fidget. We need information.
And you trust
Now,
what another organization is give you more than your own eyes, more than what you can get yourself.
I think that the bookkeepers can. Now, you're welcome to disagree. And ultimately, if you don't agree with what the rest of us are doing, like Brom said, you're welcome to walk.
I think you're missing the point that what each of us can get on our own is not fucking much.
Yeah. I may have a couple of contacts, but that is nothing compared to a continent-spanning organization of relic hunters and administrators and reference workers. They are
Librarians.
sitting on a mountain of information. And I think somewhere in there might be useful stuff that we can work with. I get you don't trust them. I get you don't trust me, or Brom, or Nuala, or Walter. You don't even trust Nuala the horse. And that's okay.
And
you don't
bottom
have
line,
to entirely trust us. You don't
bottom
need to
line-
know everything about everybody.
bottom line, we don't trust the bookkeepers either. But sometimes you have to be willing to do certain things and act a certain way to get certain things. I'm not saying that I think these bookkeepers are absolutely the most reliable people. I'm just saying I'm willing to put up with their crap long enough for it to maybe help me. And if whatever they give me, I have to have something to be able to figure out if it's true on my own. I can't figure out what's true if I don't have anything to go on. If they tell me one thing, then I at least have a goddamn direction to start looking to see if what they told me is accurate.
We have one more night here. Maybe we're all better off just sleeping on our initial decision and decide in the morning what we're gonna do.
All right. Well, if this is where we're going to leave this, I have a box of evidence, and I'm going to go quietly get back to the Mythlindian Home Guard.
I can take it back.
Several boxes containing live owlbears, as we've established.
Nuala, I think you've done enough. Please, let me handle this.
Say this when I'm done with this conversation. I do not have a choice in this situation. Tomorrow morning, I am putting my ass on a cart with those wizards and going off to the bookkeepers. That's what I have to do. And whether there's a goblin there or not, at this point, doesn't matter much to me. Brom storms out.
Okay.
This could be the first time in all of your lives that you have the opportunity to do things your way and not be beholden to something else.
No, it's not the first time. And I'd rather do it this way. And with that, Alar heads out the door.
This is that organization is the best, most different lead I've had access to in a lifetime. You can go on a spirit journey to the desert and find an answer from the ether, or you can go to a library and pull out a book. I'd rather go to the library. And maybe the answers I'm looking for aren't there. But that just means they're not there. At least I checked.
Someone has to write the book, Walter.
Sure.
And I thought that's what you were supposed to be. And I think I might have been hallucinating.
Maybe not. I would love to just walk out the door and find my answers, but it's a big world and I have a limited life. Without interacting with others, without making connections, I'm not going to find the things I need to find. As far as I'm concerned, Terra Libra is just another place for more connections. The more connections I make, the more information I get. The more information I get, the more I can disseminate. The more I can compare different expressed truths to what my experienced reality is. You can't write a book without influences. You can't write a book without experiences. And I'll take a lead where I can get it. This is the biggest lead we have. I'm certainly happy to wander off, find things if I had the resources to do so, but I don't really have that luxury. I could spend this 200 gold in my pocket in 6 months. What do I show for it? Maybe something, maybe nothing. But we have an invitation. We have rewards to accept, at least. So I can collect the information there and write a book, write my story the way I want to. But I don't think anybody is truly free, but maybe you're the lucky one that is.
Come on, Fidget. Let's go see if there's some tea in the kitchen. I think we all need to.
I don't think I will.
Okay.
I think it's time to go.
Okay. Are you gonna stay here tonight at least?
I think it's been made clear that I'm not welcome.
That is the opposite of true.
Don't think that is. You heard what your friend said. I'll be around.
I can't speak for others, but I do appreciate you here.
I think that's a good place to call an end to tonight's session, as some decisions are being made, some discussions have been had, and the road ahead is uncertain. We will depart from our group for tonight and await to see what comes in the light of a new day when we return next week. So thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you guys, as always, for playing with me. Thank you to our sponsors, Little Dragon Corp, of course, providers of fine dice and tabletop gaming paraphernalia. You can type !Little Dragon in the chat for a link to their website, and if you do buy anything, please do not forget to use the code PROBONUS at checkout for a discount on your purchase. We don't have a new... No. I couldn't remember if we had a new Braum thing this week. We do not. So, thank you guys for joining us. This was a very emotionally chilling session, I think. And we'll see what happens next week. So, thank you for joining us, and have a great rest of your week. With that, I bid you all good night.